wrestling fans. Mr. Ricolo along with Skitz Jones. And Skitz, we got a very special guest tonight.
Special, something like that. Ladies and gentlemen, the owner of POWW Entertainment, Jimmy Blaze, is here to join us.
It will be and it's going to be a very special segment here, Skitz.
Looking forward to it.
A lot better than the normal guard with you on it.
Well, we are building up to SlamFest. It's coming up this weekend.
That it is.
We are just coming out of Willowbrook, night of interesting events.
Yeah. Go ahead, Rick.
A lot of interesting taking place there in Willowbrook just this past week, but coming up this Saturday, big 8-man tag, Jimmy Blaze.
8-man tag.
Demolition,
Mitch Blake, and me. Finally, we're going to have retribution for Picture Perfect, Black Iron, Trevor Blanchard. What you guys did at Wrestle Rage to the living legends of Demolition, it's coming to an end this Saturday. Ricolo, if I wanted one more legend, I'd probably pull you out.
Well, you know.
Enough of this rear end kissing. Let's get to the real deal here.
You might want to wait a second because I do owe this man. I treated him like garbage for years. I made a statement back in Fox Lake and I'm keeping my word. I apologize to you. I apologize to the fans. I will never ever apologize to somebody that wants to sit on a TV show or a makeshift show and talk garbage about people that get in the ring. When you can get in the ring, then you can talk. Until then, I'd shut your mouth.
You remember what happened last time we got in the ring?
I do. I killed you.
Win-loss records were 1-1. Rubber match one these days.
All right,
let's get down to the brass tacks.
We're
Let's
here
talk
to
about the real deal.
We're here to talk about SlamFest.
This tag match you've got coming up. You want to talk about grave injustices? How about the fact that Picture Perfect, Logan Scott and Turbo have yet to have a rematch for the tag titles?
Does that have anything to do with me? No, not at all. That has to do with Trevor Blanchard and Black Iron. True or untrue? They're the champions. Never once has Logan Scott and Turbo come to the offices and asked for a rematch. Therefore, Mitch Blake and I asked for the match. Trevor Blanchard stupidly accepted, and now, just like the Green Bay Packers, we're the champions. You can shrug it off all you want, Skitz, but Saturday, Elk Grove Village, we're going to demolish all four of them. And if the rest of Picture Perfect wants to get involved, I got people watching you too.
Now, I got to ask you something, Jimmy Blaze. The hand of Mitch Blake, and I know it's not 100%, but,
Not at all.
you know, but he should be all right, huh?
He'll be all right. You saw him in Willowbrook, a little bit of pain, but at the same time, anybody that's ever broken anything in their bones knows that it takes time to heal, and it's never ever going to be the same. The one thing that it was Picture Perfect. And now, because of Picture Perfect, it's destroyed. Just like Axe and Smash are coming after Black Iron and Trevor Blanchard. They had the biggest moment at Rage. They defeated the tag team champions. Then, out of nowhere, Trevor cashed in his key. What is the formation with Black Iron and Trevor Blanchard anyway? Do you know?
The mystery and the majesty
think
that is
anybody
Trevor
knows.
Blanchard and Black Iron. They're our tag champions.
Are they
They saw an
friends?
opportunity and they took it. No one knows what's going on in the mind of Black Iron. No one needs to know. Here's the deal. They're the champions. Trevor Blanchard offered an opportunity to Black Iron. Black Iron saw the writing on the wall, saw that this was a shot to have some gold, some gold around his waist, or black in his case, the way he wears it. But you know what? It's about the titles. He did what he had to do to have a title.
Your thoughts on this Saturday's match, 8-man match?
My thoughts?
Yeah. Who do you think's going to prevail?
Well, there's a lot of factors going on in this match. You've got 4 teams. 2 of these teams, good buddies. Someone
that?
Yourself, Mitch Blake, Demolition.
I would not say we're good friends. We idolize them. We think they're legends. That's why we save them. But just as you saw in Joey Chichi, how do you trust anybody right now? I trust Mitch Blake. That's as far as I go.
Well, here's a question about trusting people, Jimmy Blaze. There seem to be a lot of people who don't trust you, have turned their backs on you. Why do you think that is?
Do you blame them?
You got a point.
For 2 years, I acted like a complete fool. I listened to people like Trevor Blanchard, Justin James, Black Iron, Robert Saber, Tommy Capone. Where's he? But you want to talk about injustices. You want to talk about chances. Being at the right place, being at the right time. This Saturday in Elk Grove Village, it's the right time for psychotic rage and demolition to set an example to those four. Maybe, just maybe, it's the end of one or all.
Yeah, but you know, you're saying the four, but don't forget, Picture Perfect consists of what, 5, 6 guys?
Yeah, right.
You know, they all might get a hand in there somewhere. You never know, especially with that clown Justin James. You never know what he's going to do.
Let's talk.
And that other idiot, your former friend Joey Chichi, who turned his back. He's done but a turncoat.
Let's talk about setting examples for the up-and-coming wrestlers in this company and some of the young guys. Let's talk about setting examples. What example did you set when you stole the title, the television title from Justin James? What example were you setting?
Ricolo, was I in the match? As far as I remember, Scott Spade pinned Justin James. He had a heart attack.
That's all I know. That 1, 2, 3, the bell sounded, then we have a new TV champion.
Right.
Anyone who has been following the TV show, anyone who has been at the live events, they have seen that you have it out for Picture Perfect. You delivered the flatliner to Justin James, allowing Scott Spade to make that pin.
My thing with Picture Perfect had nothing to do with Justin James. Justin James, that night, when he lost the belt to Scott Spade, seeked retribution on me for making that match. If you remember, he was supposed to wrestle Gavin Dunn. That match didn't happen. Scott Spade, another person that got screwed at Wrestle Rage. By who? Rough Crossing. Now, true or untrue, that kid could have been the regional champion again. He didn't get it.
He allowed himself to get distracted. That's no one's fault but his own.
Let's bring it back to Justin James. What happened at Wrestle Rage? Brandon Bishop versus Justin James. Loser is gone. Career's done.
It's out of here.
I made that match. I never said that I was done with the stipulation. The second part of the stipulation was whoever stuck around, well, they would be the champion and they'd have to face an opponent of my choosing. It happened. Scott Spade's your champion. Justin James is a whiny crybaby. He wets his pants. he may have pudding down the back too. We don't know.
He has every reason to be upset. Scott Spade has yet to have a successful defense against Justin James without some form of interference or foul play. Rightfully so, Justin James should still be our television title, and that is my opinion.
Rough to keep his nose out of the business then. True or untrue? I have not helped Scott Spade in any way. I still don't like the guy.
Well, you see, that's an ongoing bitter feud that'll never end. Is Rough Crossing and Scott Spade, just like Rough Crossing and Jimmy Blaze. That thing will never end. People said it's at the end, but I don't believe so.
I don't care to step back in the ring with him. We felt blood. We felt pain. Rough Crossing has changed his mood. So has Jimmy Blaze. Or have we? You never know.
You never know. You never know.
Don't cross the boss is the same.
You know, Rough Crossing, you know, come this Saturday, he's going to be facing Chris Cairo for the #1 contendership for the POW television title.
Two guys I've been in a ring with, two of the toughest opponents.
Oh, yeah.
Prediction for that match?
Don't care. Care about one match, Skitz. Care about an 8-man tag. That's what I care about. Those belts aren't on the line. But the belts could be used. It could demolish somebody. What are your thoughts on Cairo and Ruff?
My thoughts on Cairo and Ruff. Rough Crossing has turned a page in his career. He has stopped seeking the adoration of the fans. He has stopped seeking the adoration of the boys in the back. He knows what he is capable of, and he doesn't need people patting him on the back, giving him high fives. He wants success, and he's going about it any way he can.
Treating your woman disrespectfully is a good way to get across your point.
Let's talk about that. Last match,
I asked you a question.
and I'm about to phrase an answer. Patience.
Yeah, but don't answer the question with a question.
Patience.
I got the patience
Rough
of a
Crossing
lamb.
and ex-con face off for that #1 contendership title match spot. Nikki cheers ex-con. She is contractually obligated to Rough Crossing to be his valet. That is her contract obligation. If she neglects to fulfill the requirements of her contract, he is well within his rights to discipline her as he sees fit.
You want to answer this? Or
Well-
explain yourself?
Well, the way I see it, that if she's under contract, Rough Crossing, but still, a Rough Crossing don't run her life.
Exactly.
I mean, if she feels for the guy in the ring, ex-con, if she felt a little bit of sympathy, Rough Crossing can't change her feelings.
This is about business. This is not about feelings. Let's say that you happen to work for an employer and you don't believe in all of their business practices. So you decide to start promoting their competitor while you're in that business wearing their uniform.
Is that what you're
Do you
looking
think
to
they're
do?
going to keep you around?
Well, that's what this Saturday's all about. It's all about unfinished business.
Business.
Business. We'll
Skitz, you
see.
make no sense, man.
How so?
You went away to Iraq, a really happy-go-lucky guy. When you came back, you ain't been the same, man. Something's wrong. You're sitting here saying that it's okay for a guy to treat a woman like a piece of garbage. I was raised differently. Treat her with respect. You're saying everybody has their own opinion. That is all she's doing. So, because of her opinion, now she's to be treated like garbage.
If she
Hold
wants
her
to
out.
voice her opinion on her time, she is more than welcome to do so. Between bell to bell, that is not her time. That is Rough Crossing's time. Surely you understand that business is not always personal. Not always.
This Saturday night, Rough Crossing taking on Chris Cairo for the #1 contendership. Winner will meet the POW Entertainment television champion at a later date. Another big match coming up this Saturday, Jimmy Blaze. POW World title. Kanoa puts the title on the line against the #1 contender, Ruthless Ramon Rodriguez.
Now this is a match that is very interesting. I was hired to have something to say. That's
Freedom of
why I'm
speech.
here. I
Freedom
am a
of speech.
commentator. That's what I do. I comment.
Tell the people who you think, because I know who I'm.
Here's my concern. And it's been my concern for a while, and I don't understand why it hasn't been addressed. Ruthless Ramon is not 100%. How can he be? After the injury he sustained, after the surgery, after the rehab, how can he be 100%? And how, in good conscience, can this match be allowed to happen, which could potentially ruin not just his career, but his life? Postpone the match. Now, don't get me wrong. I appreciate Ruthless Ramon's integrity, his intensity. I appreciate his desire. But how wise is it to go up against the world champion right now?
As wise as Mitch Blake stepping in the ring last weekend, winning a tag team title with me. He wasn't 100%. He won't be. I just explained that. Ruthless Ramon had a severe injury. True?
True.
The guy's been working his butt off. True?
True.
The guy is the only person to hold a win over me on a street fight. True?
True.
There's my vote.
You're missing-
Your new world champion will be Ruthless Ramon Rodriguez.
You're missing one very important factor.
Points.
Mitch Blake could tag out. When Ruthless Ramon faces Kanoa, there is no one to tag out to. It is one-on-one competition. My vote goes to Kanoa.
Didn't they used to be friends? Aren't they still friends?
Didn't we just say that business is not always personal?
Well, I tell you what, in my opinion, I'd have to go with the more experienced man right here. Actually, the bigger man, and I'd have to throw it to Kanoa. I like Ruthless. I like them both, but I have to go with the more experienced man, Kanoa. He's got it over the Ruthless one. I think Ruthless one still has to, you know, I don't think he's going to be 100%, but he always finds a way to win.
Didn't Ruthless Ramon say that he would do anything it takes to hold that title?
That's right.
Sometimes you have to do what you have to do. That kid's dream since day one has been to be the world champion. Kanoa's dream was to be the world. Anybody in this business, your dream is to be the world champion. Kanoa has been there. He did it at the biggest event ever.
With Ramon, he brings with him out of the audience a couple hundred of those little niños with him, you know, and it means a lot.
Same
Everybody
night that
cheers.
Kanoa won that title, Ricolo, Ramon won the Royal to face the world champion at SlamFest. Back then, I'd say he wasn't 100%, not even 70%. If you ever have a chance and you find out where the gym is, go in. The kid's been busting his butt. I see him in there. I'm putting my money on it. If you want to make a wager, I will.
Keep your money.
Oh, I wasn't talking money. Not at all. I was sort of talking that if Ruthless wins, the following show, I face you.
Oh.
Kanoa wins,
Oh.
I'll shake your hand.
You'll shake my hand. In the
Scott's
ring,
honor, or is it true?
in the ring, in front of everyone.
Well, looks like we've got ourselves a little gentleman's bet going over here, wrestling fans. Kanoa on one side, Ruthless on the other.
You have yourself a bet.
Interesting.
See the outcome of that match.
Interesting.
What else is going on at SlamFest?
Oh, there's a whole hell of a lot going on there. We've got the 8-man tag, Demolition, Psychotic Rage going against Picture Perfect and Trevor Blanchard and Black Iron. We've got the #1 contendership for the POWW television title. We have Rough Crossing taking on Chris Cairo. World Championship at hand. World Champion Kanoa takes on the #1 contender, Ruthless Ramon Rodriguez. And a whole lot more coming up this Saturday night at the L. Hattendorf Center, Oak Grove Village, to be pleased.
We out of time, or do we still got a little?
Oh, we've got a lot of time left.
Because there's something I really want to talk about. You mentioned earlier how Rough Crossing had been treating Nikki. It's funny how she has a title shot that night, isn't it?
Let's talk about her title shot. How is she going to fare against, unquestionably, the more experienced, the bigger, the stronger Melanie Cruz, especially now that Melanie Cruz has Taylor Made by her side?
That's, you know, let's announce it right. That's Queen Melanie Cruz.
Taylor.
She's not the proclaimed queen. She is the queen of POWW.
That same night that Ruthless Ramon beat me, that same night, that young, innocent little girl that you call her, how can she fare, Nikki? Well, I believe that she hogtied Melanie Cruz like the pig she is.
Pooh! Pooh!
Everyone
I might
gets
be
lucky
wrong,
once.
but I believe that's what I saw.
Everyone gets lucky once. But again, the added factor in this match is Taylor Made. How heartbroken does Nikki have to be right now that her closest friend and confidant in that locker room, Taylor Made, turned her back on her and sided with Melanie Cruz?
Well, it is heartbreaking. It's very heartbreaking. But life goes on, Skitz. It's all about heartbreak. business is business and this is that. You learn from your mistakes.
And disappointments too.
I don't look at Melanie Cruz and Taylor Made as nice individuals. You want a tag team to believe in? Psychotic Rage. We're your PR people. You can laugh all you want. We wrestled some very tough matches against Rough Crossing and Scott Spade, Cousin Eddie, Chris Cairo. Wrestle Rage, probably our toughest victory yet. It's inmates.
Now there's a question right there. The Sidmates, Dayhawk, ex-con. Rumor has it flown that ex-con may be done with the business.
If he is, he is. And as much as I don't like the two of them, you got to give respect for the effort they put forward at Wrestle Rage. True or untrue?
True.
I'm an honest man. I can sit here and say that. You, I look in your eyes and I don't trust anything coming out of your mouth. You have a hidden agenda.
There's nothing hidden about my
Look at his
agenda.
eyes. You see his eyes, Ricolo?
My agenda is to come out and
Blue
speak
eyes.
the truth at all times. That is why I'm the voice of reason. I am here to counterbalance the butt kissing that comes out of this man's mouth on a constant basis.
The voice of reason. I thought that was referees.
I don't know.
Referees.
Go ahead. That's cool moniker, voice of reason.
Referees. We want to talk about referees. How about you making yourself the referee in Fox Lake?
That was fun. That was fun.
Bias officiating at its finest.
What were you doing in that ring?
Having fun, Ricolo.
You must have been. Pick up that DVD once you get a chance to, wrestling fans. Over there, Fox Lake, last month in January, as Jimmy Blaze, a special guest referee for, I think, the first 3 matches. Unbelievable.
It was only supposed to be the first. Fans asked for the second, and I figured, what the heck? I'm in the ring, why leave? We were shorthanded that night, snowstorm.
Yep,
I did my job. Did it good, too.
sure did.
Forsaken didn't say anything bad to me. Chris Cairo didn't say anything bad to me. Nikki did. 2-on-1. Which brings me back. Melanie Cruz versus Nikki. Will we see a new queen?
Anything is possible. Anyone can get lucky
Now
once.
anything's possible.
But you
Anything's
say
possible.
2-on-1. Wouldn't it have been 2-on-1 in the opposite direction had Taylor Made still been Nikki's friend?
Don't you think Nikki's going to have eyes watching to make sure Taylor Made doesn't get involved? Just like last weekend. Look who came in. Her friend Melissa Coates.
Are you insinuating that we may have another surprise visitor siding with Nikki?
Nikki last week calling in the big guns. Melissa Coates. Boy, I'll tell you what.
That's one hell of a girl, huh?
Better believe it.
And Nikki can get her revenge. She's got her revenge with Taylor Made scheduled. March 19th. Fox Lake.
Fox Lake, you better believe
The
it.
same night that Melanie Cruz faces the person that she screwed over, former WWE diva, Serena.
Back in POW Entertainment, better
I'm
believe
going
it.
way off on a tangent now, ain't I, Rick?
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, March 19th, Fox Lake, Serena back in town and POW Entertainment. It's going to be great. I just can't wait to see Melanie Cruz. She's going to get what's coming to her.
I can wait to see her.
But, you know, just before,
Serena.
you know, March 18th, just the night before, we're going to be in Villa Park at the Villa Park VFW. Mark that on your calendar, wrestling
When's
fans. March 18th, Villa Park VFW.
Well, it was a sold-out, packed house last time we were in Villa Park. Will it be the same
That
at this
building-
upcoming show?
That was Joey Chichi.
Your good friend, your former
Turning his
friend.
back on me. He
Yeah.
got a little bit out of control.
That's if you recall, wrestling fans, turncoat Joey Chichi surprised Jimmy Blaze with a spear, and that ended that friendship. Joey Chichi making his return to,
I don't think Joey Chichi's going to be making it to that next show. You look at SlamFest. His opponent's been around. He's wrestled a lot of great guys. He's hardcore. He's hardcore Craig. Former tag team champion for POW. Been all over the circuit in the Midwest. Wrestled the legend Dynamite Kid. Been to Europe. Been to Germany. And now he's coming back to POW to take care of Joey Chichi. Not saying that I need
This
people
Saturday.
to battle for me, Skitz. Not at all. But if Joey Chichi can get past him, he's going to have a lot of psychotic rage coming his way.
It's fair. Let's talk about another member of Picture Perfect who has a match coming up at SlamFest. Gage Quinn facing off against Eric Freedom.
The natural Gage Quinn.
The hardcore hippie.
What-
Hardcore hippie, hardcore Craig.
Did you,
Have you been reading the message board?
I don't know how to read.
I could believe that. Anyone who out there who has been reading the message board will know that it has been talked about, Hardcore Craig and the Hardcore Hippie Eric Freedom, as a potential team for future.
I think Mitch
Future
Blake and
tag
myself
team
would be
shot.
happy to wrestle against them.
well, Eric Frieda had one half of Psychedelic Inc., if you remember that. Psychedelic Inc.?
It's another person that turned his back on me.
But you two seem to have mended fences recently.
Somewhat.
Business skits.
Somewhat.
Business.
Well,
Business.
we're probably going to be running out of time here shortly, but let's talk a little bit about the future of POW, and let's talk about, since you're here and since you are the tag team champion, let's talk about tag teams in POW. It's been something that's been talked about on the message board right now. As of this moment, it's something that has been talked about on the main page of the POW Entertainment website. Let's look at some of the tag teams. I'll throw out a name of a tag team. You let me know what you think about them.
What are we doing, charades? Go ahead.
All right. Picture Perfect. Logan Scott and Turtle.
Not so perfect. Next.
Ministry of Defense. Joey Chichi and Justin James.
It's a blast from the past.
Crybaby Turncoats. Next.
The Canadians. Rex Hart and Gentleman John Campbell.
The soup guy.
Good.
Right. John Campbell. Right.
Rex Hart, you can't take anything away from the former world champion.
Yep.
Enough said.
Happy and Homeless. Chris Cairo and Cousin Eddie.
That's about what they are too these days, happy and homeless, right?
We beat them already. Not for the titles, but we beat them. You want a shot? Actually, Skitz, let's make this real simple. You can either take every person's name, throw it in a jar, shake it up, and pull two names out and let us wrestle them, or I can sit here and tell anyone in Illinois, around the Midwest, or in POW, they want a shot at us, call us. Come to the ring.
That's an open challenge.
Ask for a match.
An
We'll
open
give it to
challenge by Psychotic Rage to all the wrestling teams out
you.
there.
Are you asking for a match with Skitz?
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
All right, see.
Well, there you have it. I think that'll wrap up this show. An open challenge made by Jimmy Blaze to take on any tag team in the Midwest and beyond, presumably. I think that'll do it for Inside the Ropes.
We'll catch you all next week. Mr. Ricolo, Skitz Jones, and our special guest, Psychotic Jimmy Blake.